praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. I raise my life in the name of love. I praise my life, I raise my life in the name of love. I praise the world, I raise the world in the name of love. I praise the world, I raise the world in the name of love. I praise my neighbor, I raise my neighbor in the name of love. I praise my neighbor, I raise my neighbor in the name of love. I praise my sister, I raise my sister in the name of love.
Good evening. And welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake. I'm so delighted that you're here. And let us begin by acknowledging that we live, work, and play within the city of Toronto on the historical and traditional territory of many Indigenous nations, including the Anishinaabe and Wendat peoples, and more recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit and the Haudenosaunee nations. And it's now home to many diverse First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people. By making this acknowledgement, we strive to be allies and take an active part in reconciliation by honoring the land, the history, and the unique Indigenous heritage of our First People. We recognize our oneness, we realize our history, and we choose to create a new reality. We are one. Our vision statement is transforming humanity through the emergence of the sacred, authentic self. So, with that in mind, let us let go of the day. I invite you to just relax into this moment and let us begin in meditation. So, taking a deep breath in, relaxing the body, quieting the mind, releasing the busyness of the day, becoming present, and taking another deep breath and hold and release. One more deep breath, holding and release. And it is in this space of stillness that I acknowledge the power and the presence of the Divine One, the energy of life itself, the vital force that is within each and every one of us, the vibration of possibility, excitement, and delight that permeates every cell of my being, that opens my heart and mind that I might connect more fully and deeply with life, with my world, with all that I think, say, and do. And it is instilling this mind of mine that I create possibility and opportunity, that I begin to operate with a sense of oneness, knowing that cooperation, collaboration is the way of healing. That coming together as one to acknowledge the gifts, the blessings, the power, and the possibility of each individual makes it possible that I might find my own true self and that I might move forward with a sense of liberation and grace. So I let go of all ideas of disconnect, discord, separation. And I surrender fully into this now moment to realize that I am a divine idea in the infinite eternal presence of the One. That all that I am and all that I do is part of the creative vibration of life itself. And I move into this evening session with a sense of, yes, yes, all things are possible. All things are possible. I heal my life by acknowledging my spirituality as well as my humanity, bringing the two together as one and moving forward in the sense of wholeness brings me to a place of peace and joy, allows me to fully accept and realize, to honor and respect the divine nature of my life and my journey. So as we come together this evening, what I know is that something said or done touches hearts and minds and lifts spirits, creating a sense of harmony, possibility, hope, and faith, that moving through the challenging times that we've come through, that there is light emanating and drawing us forward with a sense of true liberation. So filled with gratitude, filled with love and peace, I know that all is well, and that this divine idea is fully realized in this moment. Grateful that this is the truth, grateful that moving forward, everything is operating in divine order. I trust the process, I enjoy the journey, and accept whatever comes. With a grateful and humble heart, I let it be, and together we say, and so it is.
You are seen, you are heard, you are loved for who you are. You are enough, you are complete, you are love. You are seen, you are heard, you are loved for who you are. You are enough, you are complete, you are love. You are love, you are love, you are love. I am seen, I am heard, I am loved for who I am. There is nothing I need to change. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am seen. I am heard. I am loved for who I am. There is nothing I need to change. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am loved for who I am. I am enough. I am enough. I am complete. I am complete. I am loved. I am loved. I am seen. I am loved. I am heard. I am loved. I am safe. I am loved. I am enough. I am loved. I am worthy. I am loved. I am loved.
I am love. What a great message. As each one of us comes to a place of acceptance of our true nature, of allowing ourselves to be who we are moment by moment, what happens is that we begin to bring together the aspects of ourself that somehow seem to separate when we were coming into this life experience. I was reading a book today called Awaken the Sleeping Giant, The Time Is Now, which was written by Craig Calavo. And he writes in the book, our life journey begins at birth when we get delivered into this strange world as a soul with a body. And we are transitioning from a world of pure spirit to the world of form. That's where it gets scary, right? He goes on to say, this fear quickly leads us to the creation of the bodyguard. This is our survival instinct. And our bodyguard will stay with us for the duration of our journey. So shortly after birth, we begin to explore human nature and we learn how to play the game. And didn't we all learn that? We were taught how to behave properly, what to say or do in a public setting, to wear clothing because it's inappropriate to run around naked. Whatever the messages were that we got as little children, we heard no an awful lot. And so this soul self, this spiritual self that was so free and so alive and so present comes into this body that appears so firm, so solid, so unmoving, that all of a sudden there's a sense of separation that occurs. And what happens is we actually fall asleep because at this stage of development, we don't need that soul awareness. What we're doing is we're discovering our humanity. We're discovering human nature. And we're learning it, unfortunately, for most of us, we're learning it from people who don't know how to teach it well. So here we are stuck. So the reason we need to heal our lives is because the life itself is perfect, but we've forgotten that. We've gone to sleep. And so we want to awaken that giant within, which is that divine essence that we are, the core of our being. So as we learn about our human nature, we soon realize that the exploration that we're doing is going to bring us back to our true selves. And I think that's why we're here. We're here to come to understand who we really are, to live life in a way that's bigger and brighter, to find a way of being in the world to eliminate the suffering. Because doesn't it seem odd, as we look around, the amount of trauma in our world, the pain and suffering that we see all over the place? I don't think that is necessary. However, it appears to be part of the journey. And so we want to move through that and to get to the other side as easily and quickly as possible. So we come to planet Earth, and this is the journey. And we begin by acknowledging what we are and who we are, and then incorporating all that we are. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, a Jesuit priest and philosopher, stated, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I know you've heard me say that before. And we're born into this world as a soul with a body. We are born with the perfect combination of human nature and divine nature. And here's the kicker, they're both important. They're both important. I think sometimes there's a struggle with that, right? There's There's a bit of a disconnect where maybe we think that somehow being spiritual is better, or, forget that spiritual crap, who needs it? And so let me just sit in my human, whatever's going on, and live from that perspective. And really the two are needed. And the journey that we're on is to bring the two together so that we experience our wholeness. That's the game of life. Science and technology have been catching up with the beliefs of ancient yogis, which is really interesting. The idea that everything in the universe is connected as vibrating energy. Now, we talk about oneness all the time here, but that idea of vibrating energy that is coming together, this has been taught by the Hindus forever, and many other philosophies as well. And Einstein talked about it. He goes, this is physics, not philosophy. Nikola Tesla often collaborated with Swami Vivekananda. And the Swami was hoping to use science to explain that invisible energy field that the Hindus have intuitively known for centuries. And he often said, I see the perfect union between science and spirituality. And when we go into the first chapter of The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, he said, we all look forward to the day when science and religion shall walk hand in hand through the visible to the invisible. He went on to say, science knows nothing of opinion, but recognizes a government of law whose principles are universal. Revelation must keep faith with reason and religion with law, while intuition is ever spreading its wings for greater flights, and science must justify faith in the invisible. And that's, it's an interesting message when you think about it, that you've got all of these different traditions that are saying exactly the same thing and been saying it for centuries. It's not new information. We talk about new thought, but really there's nothing new about it. It's ancient wisdom that we are now rediscovering, possibly, or maybe just us in the Western world are rediscovering it. The Dalai Lama has been collaborating with neuroscientists to prove the benefits of meditation to the world of doubters. I mean, when you think about, if everything is energy and everything is connected, then when we go into meditation, we are actually allowing ourselves to connect into that divine realm. When we do that, that's a place where all of us are one. It's in that subjective aspect of life and living that's where our connection is. So it's really important to understand that there is something going on in the universe far beyond what we can see, touch, and feel. In fact, the invisible is more real than what's going on around us here, because this is already in a state of decay, whereas that divine idea that brought it into form is forever growing, expanding, and becoming more. In short, science continues to validate ideas that previously were thought to be outrageous. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, all I have seen teaches me to trust the Creator for all that I have not seen. So as we transition from the world of spirit to the world of form, it's kind of a strange place. And we come in as these little tiny beings, and we're given to these people who know or don't know what to do with us. And then we begin that journey. And of course, we slip into this temporary amnesia. And it's necessary for this phase of the journey. It's necessary that we begin to navigate the human existence. And then as we age and as we discover, then we prepare to be awakened. And that's kind of what some of us are doing now. And maybe some of us have already done it for a while. I want to share with you, in order to heal our lives, one of the key elements is surrender. We can't do it without letting go of that idea of this being all that I am. So there's an ancient Indian fable which describes the process of surrendering, and I quite liked it. Once upon a time, a lion fell asleep with her baby cub in the jungle. As the mother slept, the cub wandered off into the darkness and was lost. Days later, on the verge of starvation, the cub was found by a flock of sheep. The sheep welcomed the cub and raised him as their own. And over time, the cub lost all awareness of its true nature. The adolescent lion, now active, sounded and behaved like a sheep. One hot day, while grazing in a field, the sheep startled by a large beast emerging from the forest. In a panic, they quickly ran in the opposite direction. The lion sheep was frozen with fear. With great confusion, the beast approached and let out a roar that shook the earth. Assuming the end was near, the lion sheep was paralyzed. The magnificent lion grabbed the trembling animal and asked, "Why do you live and act like a sheep when you are king of the jungle?" The lion sheep did not respond. The powerful lion pulled the sheepish lion to the water's edge, forcing the cowardly lion's head towards his reflection. The frustrated beast exclaimed, "Look, we are the same. Let me hear you roar." In an effort to appease the beast, the lion let out a sheep-like whimper. "Again," demanded the beast. After several attempts, the lion began to hear a familiar roar. And with this discovery, the timid lion began to feel a stirring within its body, memory of its true self awakening. The young lion stood on the river's edge, feeling a new sense of purpose and excitement. And with this excitement came fear of the unknown. This discovery changed his world in an instant. The large beast began to walk back to the forest, turning to let out one final roar as if to say, "Are you coming?" The young lion quickly realized his day of reckoning had arrived. Does he continue living his safe, predictable life as a sheep, or does he embrace his true self and surrender to the world of the unknown? Looking at the beautiful forest in the horizon, the young lion decides to take the leap of faith. The lion chose to surrender, to return to his primal way, to become who he has always been, king of the jungle. We are that incredible power, and we live as though we are not. We are living a life of struggle and anxiety and fear and doubt and worry, rather than standing in our true potential, celebrating this glorious power that is within us, this essence of us that is capable of all things. And we play this small piece, this little idea. We play it safe because we've bought into the idea that this is who I am. This body defines me. But what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? What if this body is merely the outfit I happen to be wearing for this incarnation? That it really is just a tool that I'm using as I go through this journey of life and living, that whatever it is that I need and desire, already it is within me. And so the awakening of the giant within is that waking up of our true potential. Now, you heard our vision statement at the beginning, transforming humanity through the emergence of the sacred, authentic self. That's what we're going for here. Through our classes, through everything we do, is to wake up that piece within us that doesn't play small, that doesn't buy into limitation and lack or illness and disease, but rather stands with mighty glory, being that ferocious beast and going, "I am that I am." Allowing the energy of life to flow unencumbered, because there's a power within that is beyond anything that we can comprehend from our ego perspective. Now, that ego aspect of us, we require it. And that's why we must join. We must bring together the soul self and the human self. We must bring together spirituality and humanity as one. And together we create a whole that can function beautifully and perfectly. And the journey that we walk becomes fulfilling and satisfying, not because we've, mastered something unusual, but because we've allowed ourselves to be who we are. Carl Jung, in his book, The Stages of Life, wrote, thoroughly unprepared, we take the step into the afternoon of life. We take this step with the false assumption that our truths and ideals will serve us as before. But we cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of life's morning. What was true in the morning will at evening have become a lie. So the things that worked for us when we were younger, the ways that we lived before, all of that served at that time because we were asleep. But as we wake up, as we begin to realize our full potential, we start to realize that there's something different going on. There's something bigger and brighter and more beautiful that maybe we had not really connected with prior to this moment. And so there's something new to happen, something new that's ready to awaken. And we know because there's a rumbling inside of us. You know, we hear of people talking about a midlife crisis. I think it's an awakening. It's the rumbling of the giant going, excuse me, hello. Let me out of here. Let me express, let me be. And what happens is when we begin to let go of our fears and limitations, as we begin to acknowledge this greatness within, what happens is we start to live in a different way. And that doesn't mean there won't be challenges that come. They just won't affect us in the same way. That the bumps in the road will be navigated with a greater sense of ease and comfort rather than this big struggle. We start to see that everything that has occurred in our life experience, take a swallow, everything that has occurred in our life experience has actually brought us to this moment. It has served a purpose. The struggle, the pain, the anguish, the sorrow, the grief, all of it has served to assist in awakening the giant and allowing ourselves to be who we truly are. And spiritual masters are ready and willing to experience all feelings life has to offer. A spiritual master is not going to sit back and go, well, you know, I'm not going to feel anger, frustration, annoyance. A spiritual master lets it all be there, feels it all, and acknowledges that it's all just part of this experience of living in this human form, in this human existence. So we're here to move through life with a sense of, I don't know, excitement in life, to see it as an adventure and to know that the times of struggle, they'll pass. I mean, we already know that, right? We've all gone through struggles and joys and struggles and joys, and it passes. And then something new comes along. And as we begin to get more and more comfortable with this, we start to see that everything is happening in a really divine way. Like somehow it's all working for our good. For most of us, though, the moment there's an uncomfortable situation or feeling, we do our very best to distract ourselves and to get rid of it, to try and make it go away. We don't want it to happen. So I'm going to give you a couple of tools that are really helpful in allowing us to come to terms with our true identity and to allow that giant to have life. And the first is meditation. And meditation isn't one thing. Meditation is a practice that can be done in a number of different ways. And when we take time every day in meditation, what we're doing is we're allowing ourselves to kind of quiet that bodyguard or the ego mind and relax more fully into a place of receptivity where we can hear that still small voice. And as we quiet our mind and drop our conscious awareness into this heart space, we begin to feel something different. And what's fascinating about meditation is the longer we do it for, the more productive we become, the more we accomplish. If I don't know who it was, but one master years ago said, oh, I have a very busy day. So instead of meditating for 1 hour, I'll meditate for 2. Like somehow by doing that, we begin to align ourselves with this universal intelligence, which then allows for life to flow with a greater sense of ease and purpose. Our mind is connected more intuitively, and so we act and respond to life in a way that is so much more productive. And I know when I first started meditating, because I was quite resistant to it, my mind is quite chattery. It goes and goes and goes. And my minister kept talking about it, and I kept going, I don't have enough time for that, until I tried it. And I sat down and did it. And then every time I did my meditation, it's like my days became so productive. I accomplished way more than on the days that I didn't. It sort of creates a harmony within our physical, spiritual self, pulls us together in a way that allows us to be fully present. And when we're fully present, we see possibilities where maybe before we would not have. We might have been distracted by something else. So meditation is one of the most powerful tools that we can use. If you're not doing it now, I invite you to at least take 10 minutes a day to start. Set an alarm if you're worried about staying there too long, which is kind of a good idea when you start. Because I know when I started, it was like every minute I'd open my eyes and go, okay, it's got to be 20 minutes now. And, 1 minute or 2 minutes has passed. Oh, whoa. So set an alarm, but something with a very quiet little chime at the end, so you're not, brutally brought out of your meditation. The practice is remarkable, and it can be done in a lot of different ways. It can be done just by following your breath or chanting. It can be done as a walking meditation, where you notice your movement. You become very conscious of what it is you're doing as you move through your day. There's a course that we teach here on occasion called meditation. It's more than you think. And so again, if there's more you want to know, we can make that happen as well. So consider taking up meditation as a way of smoothing out those bumps in the road and creating life with a greater sense of possibility. The other tool that is very valuable that can be used by anybody for that matter, and that's affirmations. And affirmations are a statement that is stated in the first person, present tense, and it's always positive. So present, positive, now. Present, positive, now. So I am health. Not I'm going to get healthy, or I'm going to get the new job, or I want to have, more wealth in my life, but more a statement of I am. I am health. I am wealth. I am love. I am light. I am peace. I am joy. I am. When we state the I am, it's a very powerful 2 words that actually draw energetically to us exactly what we've stated. So we never want to put a negative after that. We always want to make it a positive. So again, by stating those affirmations, and when we consider spiritual mind treatment, some call it affirmative prayer. Spiritual mind treatment is really about stating, a series of statements that allow us to create something really remarkable in our lives. And it's a powerful, powerful tool. Affirmations form a part of spiritual mind treatment. So in treatment, we're starting by acknowledging that this universe is creative and infinite and powerful and present everywhere at all points in space. And we're also acknowledging that because that's true, it's right where I am. And because it's right where I am, whatever it is that I desire, I have the ability to tap into it and make that desire a reality. And then we move into gratitude and release. So the idea of moving that energy, when we feel stuck, the best thing we can do instead of pushing is to stop, take a breath, relax, go into meditation, even start with an affirmation going into the meditation. I am health. I am divine. I am one with the one. And quieting the mind and letting it relax, letting the body relax, allowing ourselves to fully be present. It creates a great sense of harmony and possibility. And when we're, more gentle with ourselves, when we're more comfortable with the journey, when we're willing to simply be present with whatever's going on, what we do is free ourselves from the doing. We are human beings, not human doings. And yet most of us live in the doing phase. We live in a world that's very doing oriented. And somehow doing is thought to be a great thing. But when we get into that state of being, when we let go and realize that we're far more powerful when we let go and surrender than we are when we're pushing, what happens is everything begins to flow with a sense of ease and grace. So to heal our lives, it's essential to surrender into that divine self, that creative impulse within us, that powerhouse that is all that we are. One of the affirmations that I found in the book was really powerful too, and it's one that he says he uses every day, but it goes like this: I am this body called Barbara. This is my disguise. I am aware of my divine nature. I devote myself to the divine. We are one. So I am my body. I am divine. I am one with the one. So doing this again allows us to reframe how we're talking about life and the ways that we're creating our experience. We're opening ourselves up to realizing we're far more than we've been taught to believe. We're far more than what has been put in front of us. And when we get to that place of going, wait a minute, there's a rumbling inside of me. There's something that's questioning. In the book, Craig talks about a moment of inspiration where he stumbled upon some magic words. And the words were, is there more to life than this? Have any of us asked that over the last couple of years? With the lockdown, the lock-in, the prices going up, the lack of things available, all the stuff that was going on, getting sick, fearful. Is there more to life than this? The answer is yeah, there is. We have a choice. We can live our lives running from our true existence, or we can stop running and just simply be present with what is, and acknowledge that somehow what is taking us someplace remarkable, that what is actually taking us to a beingness beyond our current reality, and something that we can't even necessarily acknowledge in this moment. Like, it's so far beyond our ability to comprehend because it's bigger than we've seen. We've lived in this place of duality, and the truth is that isn't even real. That's the illusion. If we look at the world around us as an opportunity to learn, to discover, and ultimately to awaken to a healed life, a powerful life, a positive life, a productive life, this becomes really, really natural. Paramahansa Yogananda said, the sensory functions have their rightful place in our life only after we have subordinated them by realizing ourselves as the soul, one with spirit. Not a body dominated by the senses. We must be securely anchored in our divine nature. So that's the path we're walking right now. When we come to CSL on the Lake, we can come here to meet friends or to have a good time. But the truth is, this is a healing place, a teaching place. This is a place of discovery, of awakening, of practicing principles and techniques that allow us to understand ourselves in a new way, maybe different from what we were taught or what we were raised with. It's not the same as a traditional religion. It is a philosophy. It is an idea that my thinking is creating my life, my experience. Well, I'm the one thinking it, so I'm pretty sure that I can change what I'm thinking. And that's where the power is. That I can look at my life and look at the way I think. And this is where meditation is handy as well, because as we're meditating, sometimes we'll notice these thoughts that just come barging in, and we can stop those. The one that goes, oh my gosh, you're such an idiot. Anybody ever thought that? Wow, how could you have done such a stupid thing? There's parts of us that are lying. There's parts of us that are saying things to ourselves that aren't true, that are causing us to live in this desperation, when in fact we're this enormous beast, we're this giant ready to be unveiled, to be released into the world as light and love. And that energy, it's within every person. It isn't in me, it's in all of us. But can we see it right now? Maybe we're still asleep. Time to wake up. If you made your way here, if you made your way to this talk today, there's something in you that's saying, hey, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to look at life in a new way, to begin to explore the possibilities that I'm more than I think I am. I'm more than what my parents told me I am, or my teachers, or my spouse, or my siblings, or my relatives, or neighbors, or enemies, or whoever, right? People will project onto us their feelings about life, and we have a choice. If somebody gives you a gift, you always have the choice as to whether or not you take it. And if you don't take the gift, then who does it belong to? Exactly. Belongs to the giver. So surrender is a choice. Brene Brown says we must have the courage to stand alone in the wilderness. In the wilderness. We have to find our path. We have to find our way. And we do that individually. Acknowledging the power of now, acknowledging that there is something about life that is so important and so precious and so beautiful. And we have to be willing to go in there alone to find it. Maya Angelou speaks about being authentic. And she says, the price is high, but the rewards are great. Drop your guard and have the courage to be vulnerable for just a moment. The veil will be lifted. You will clearly see your true nature, and the illusions of being separate will vanish in an instant. When we gain the strength of wisdom needed to reconnect with our divine nature, we emerge as powerful beings. And it's a leap of faith to surrender to the divine. It's a leap of faith to move out of, well, I'm not going to call it a comfort zone because it's not particularly comfortable most of the time. I'm going to call it a familiar place. What's familiar tends to hold us because there's a fear of stepping beyond that. But if we step beyond it, what we soon discover is so much more of who we really are. We begin to see our potential. And to create a healed life requires that we step out of the box that has been holding us hostage. We allow ourselves to wake up. In A Course in Miracles, if you do the lessons day by day, it's like, look around and none of this has meaning. You look at all the things around you, all the things that, man, that's my stuff, right? We like our stuff. But what if we look at it and tell ourselves, well, this has no meaning. This light, this computer, it has no meaning. Because the only meaning anything has is the meaning that I put on it or that you put on it. The life that we're living is experienced not because we're all having the same experience, it's because we're viewing what's going on in our own unique way. And from that unique perspective, we've decided if it's good or bad. It just is. And all of it is bringing us to a place of greater self-expression and greater possibility. And so we open ourselves up when we allow ourselves to become vulnerable, when we allow ourselves to acknowledge and recognize how important life is. In the Bhagavad Gita, the scriptures talk about living in harmony, and that the sensory instruments were divinely created for us to exist in this universe. Krishna then explains we are not to destroy these sensory instruments. The devotee is not being asked to blind their eyes or deafen their ears, but to slay their habits. You got that? Slay the habits, which keep the soul imprisoned. Because we do that. We have our habits, right? And if we can overcome some of the habitual things we do, when we can begin to stray from that familiar place, when we can allow ourselves to discover something new, when we can discover within ourselves our essence, we begin to live in a whole new way. And that's where freedom lies. So you can heal your life. You heal your life by changing your mind. You heal your life by acknowledging that you are both spiritual and human, and the two are required. Can't get rid of one, can't get rid of the other. Both are essential and necessary. You heal your life by changing your thinking, changing your mind. You heal your life by surrendering into the possibility that truly there's a giant within you, fully alive, fully present, fully aware, fully ready to create a life that is remarkable. And you have the power to make that happen. I invite you to be gentle with yourself, to free yourself from fear, doubt, and worry as best you can. Shut off the news once in a while and allow yourself to simply sit in the energy of life and see where it takes you. You might be pleasantly surprised.
I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Now I know I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I rock myself like a newborn baby child. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I love myself like a newborn baby child.
Karen Drucker and her music. Well, part of the healing journey, of course, happens when we take classes because we have an opportunity to talk to one another, to explore these subjects in a much deeper way. So the first class that's starting this week is Exploring Roots. It was supposed to start last week, but there was still kind of holiday stuff going on. So we're actually starting it this Thursday. And you can register for the morning class at 10 a.m. or the evening class at 6:30. Whichever one works best for you. And we're going to explore the foundational people who created this whole teaching, the inspiration that Ernest Holmes got from Mary Baker Eddy, rather Emma Curtis Hopkins, Thomas Troward, and Emerson. So these three people really had a deep influence on him and his exploration of things. And so we're going to go through those writings and learn more about what they taught. So a really powerful class, also required for anybody who wants to become a practitioner. The other class that's coming up starts on Saturday at 10 a.m. and it's called Mental Equivalence. You know, we've gone through a lot over the last couple of years. The losses have been real and huge, and the challenges have caused a great deal of trauma and upset for many people. So trying to find our way back to a new reality, this course, Mental Equivalence, is about creating that container. So this is a really practical class. It's 5 weeks. All classes are online, by the way, and it starts on Saturday at 10 a.m. So I invite you to register for those. And you can do that through admin@cslonthelake.com. Send an email to them or send an email to me at revb@cslonthelake.com, either way, and we'll get you registered for those classes so that they start this week. So thank you for joining me this evening. I hope something said was inspiring or uplifting and has caused you to, look at your life in a way that allows you to expand and to be the remarkable person that you are. And if so, I invite you to share, to support your own well-being by also supporting the spiritual community. And there's a number of ways that you can donate to CSL on the Lake to keep us up and running. And you can do that through our website at cslonthelake.com, or you can send a transfer to admin@cslonthelake.com, or mail a check. You can do that too. So in closing, let us join together in consciousness, knowing that the energy of life is full and free, that this journey that we walk is filled with possibility and potential, that the journey of awakening is really a journey of self-discovery, of allowing ourselves to move beyond the illusion of limitation into the place of true freedom and comfort. And that as we move forward, as we allow ourselves to open up, to expand, to be what we are created to be, to bring our light into a world that frankly needs it, that something beautiful, remarkable, uplifting, and divine absolutely happens. And it happens freely and easily, comfortably and beautifully. So for all of this and so much more, I say thank you. And with a grateful, humble heart, I release these ideas into the law of mind, where I know it is done. All is well, and so it is. And stick around afterwards for a conversation. And now I'll light a candle And hey, where she says America, just fill in Canada. Thanks, everybody.
I'll light a candle in your memory, though I don't know who you are. And when I think about your family, I will wish upon a star. And I pray that they'll find peace someday. I pray they'll make it through. I'll light a candle in your memory to honor you. I'll light a candle for America. May we feel peace inside. We'll hold each other closer and wipe the tears we've cried. And I pray we'll bond together, and I pray that we'll pull through. I'll light a candle for America, for me and for you. And we will light the world with our love. I know that we will light the world with our love, with our love. I'll light a candle for humanity, for the good that's yet to come, as we overlook our differences and join now as one. And I pray we'll come out stronger in this world I'm dreaming of. I'll light a candle for humanity, to be a world living in love. And we will light the world with our love. Know that we can. We will light the world with our love. Every day, in every way, we will light. We will light the world with our love. I know that we can, and know that we will light. We will light the world with our love. I'll light a candle for humanity, for all the good that's yet to come, as we overlook our differences and join now as one. And I pray we'll come out stronger in this world I'm dreaming of. I'll light a candle for humanity, to be a world that's living in love. I'll light a candle. I'll light a candle. can